Hello mates, welcome to the West 6 Mixology podcast. I'm Scotty Clark and our show today is about a dazzling cocktail that captures the spirit of celebration in every glass. A vibrant ruby red creation that balances tangy citrus with jewel-toned pomegranate. Perfect for bringing festive cheer to your holiday gatherings. Pomegranate Margarita. Picture this. You're standing in your kitchen, late autumn light slanting through the window, and you've just cracked open a pomegranate. Seeds tumble across the cutting board like scattered rubies, juice staining your fingertips crimson. There's something ancient about this fruit, something that whispers of Persian gardens and Greek myths. And here's the thing that gets me. Somewhere along the way, some brilliant soul looked at this messy, complicated, absolutely gorgeous fruit and thought, yeah, mate, that's going in a margarita. Now, I know what you're thinking. Pomegranate margarita sounds like something dreamed up by a marketing team, doesn't it? Like they got together in a conference room and said, what's trendy? What photographs well? What can we charge 12 quid for? And you wouldn't be entirely wrong. But here's where it gets interesting. Because this drink, this winter jewel of a cocktail, actually tells us something fascinating about how cocktails evolve. It's not about one genius bartender having a eureka moment. It's about a cultural shift, a moment when we collectively decided that classics could be improved, that fresh ingredients mattered, that maybe, just maybe, we could make a margarita taste like the holidays feel. The story starts in the early 21st century, during what we call the cocktail renaissance. Bartenders were rediscovering old techniques, yes, but they were also raiding farmers' markets like culinary pirates. Fresh juice became gospel. Seasonal ingredients became law. And pomegranates, well, they were having a moment. The juice hit supermarket shelves with health claims that would make a Victorian snake oil salesman blush. Antioxidants, heart health, youth in a bottle. Meanwhile, proper bartenders were cutting open actual pomegranates, getting juice everywhere, and discovering that this ancient fruit, cultivated for thousands of years across Persia and the Mediterranean, had this incredible sweet, tart complexity that played beautifully with agave spirits. See, the pomegranate margarita doesn't have a creation myth like its parent cocktail. No glamorous origin story from a Prohibition-era bar in Tijuana. No tale of a bartender's lost love. Instead, it emerged from multiple kitchens simultaneously, like parallel evolution. Chain restaurants started featuring it around the mid-2000s, over-sweetened, sure, but introducing millions of people to the concept. At the same time, craft bartenders in California and the Southwest were doing something more refined, more honest. Fresh juice, proper tequila, balance. The drink found its place at the intersection of health trends, Instagram aesthetics, that deep garnet color photographs like an absolute dream, and our growing obsession with seasonal, local ingredients. But here's what makes this drink more than just a trend that overstayed its welcome. It actually works. Brilliantly. Because pomegranate isn't just pretty. It's got this tannic grip, this wine-like complexity that elevates the margarita structure instead of drowning it in fruit punch sweetness. It's got attitude, and that's what we're going to build today.
Building a new product? Temez Labs takes you from napkin sketch to the App Store. Trusted by Fortune 500s for quality, security, and speed. Book your free strategy session at temez.ai.
Right, let's talk about what makes this cocktail sing. You need 4 main players, and each one has a job to do. First up, tequila. And I'm going to be insufferably specific here because it matters. You want 100% agave. Not mixto, not that stuff you did shots of when you were 19 and thought tequila was punishment. Proper tequila, preferably blanco or reposado. Why? Because tequila has this beautiful, earthy, peppery character that grounds the pomegranate's sweetness. It's got minerality, citrus notes, sometimes a touch of black pepper spice. Brands like Espolón or Olmeca Altos won't break the bank, but'll treat you right. If you're feeling fancy, reach for Fortaleza or Ocho. The Blanco gives you clean agave flavor that lets the pomegranate shine. Reposado, aged a few months in oak, adds vanilla and subtle spice. Lovely for holiday versions when you want something a bit warmer, a bit more sophisticated. Now, the star of our show, pomegranate juice. Fresh is magnificent, if you've got the time and the willingness to look like you've been in a minor kitchen incident. One pomegranate yields maybe a third to half cup of juice, so you'll need a couple. But here's the thing. Commercial pomegranate juice, specifically the good stuff in the refrigerated section, not from concentrate, actually works beautifully. The tannins in pomegranate juice give the cocktail structure. It's not just sweet, it's got this astringent quality, almost wine-like, that creates complexity. That's why this isn't just a fruit bomb margarita, it's got depth, character, a bit of grip on your palate. Fresh lime juice, non-negotiable. I'm not even going to entertain the idea of bottled lime juice, because that's not cocktail making, that's self-sabotage. Lime provides the essential acidity that defines the margarita as a member of the sour family. It brightens the pomegranate, balances the sweetness, and gives you those lovely citrus aromatics. Juice your limes as close to mixing time as possible. Within half an hour is ideal, because those volatile compounds that make lime juice smell like sunshine, they start disappearing the moment you squeeze. Orange liqueur is where things get interesting. Traditional margaritas call for Cointreau or triple sec, and we're keeping it here because it provides classic margarita structure and helps marry the tequila with the fruit. But, and this is crucial, some pomegranate juices are quite sweet, so you might want to dial this back. Cointreau's the premium choice. 40% alcohol, balanced bittersweet orange character. It adds complexity without cloying sweetness. If you're using Reposado tequila, Grand Marnier works beautifully. Cognac-based, richer, more holiday appropriate. Finally, a touch of agave nectar or simple syrup. This is your adjustment knob. Taste your pomegranate juice first. Some are tart enough to pucker your face, others are sweeter. Start with a 1/4 ounce and build from there. Agave nectar complements the tequila's agave base and dissolves easily in cold liquid. The light or amber varieties work best. The dark stuff can be too assertive. And then there's salt. That optional salt rim that signals Margarita to your brain before you've even taken a sip. Salt does something magical. It suppresses bitterness, enhances sweetness and sourness, makes the whole cocktail taste more like itself. Use coarse kosher salt, not table salt, unless you want a texture like licking a slug. Better yet, go half rim only. This way your guests can choose salty or non-salty sips as they drink. Democracy in a glass.
Oh, hey friend, do you like what you're hearing? Now you can have a ridiculously amazing podcast too. Check out holler.studio to get yourself one today.
Now, the making of the thing. This matters more than most people think, because a cocktail isn't just ingredients, it's what you do to those ingredients that creates magic. We're shaking this one, and we're shaking it hard. Why? Because we've got multiple liquids of different densities: spirit, citrus juice, pomegranate juice, sweetener, and they need aggressive agitation to properly integrate. That pomegranate juice is viscous, almost syrupy, and it needs emulsification to create smooth texture. Shaking also aerates the cocktail, creating a slight frothiness that makes the mouthfeel more appealing. Here's what you do. Measure 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of fresh lime juice, 1 ounce of pomegranate juice, half an ounce of Cointreau, and a 1/4 ounce of agave nectar into your shaker. Fill it 2/3 full with ice. Proper ice volume is critical. Then seal it and shake like you mean it. Hard, fast, back and forth motion for 12 to 15 seconds. You'll hear the ice breaking into smaller shards initially, then a smoother sound as dilution increases. The shaker should frost on the outside. If it doesn't, you haven't shaken enough. Dilution. Here's something people get wrong constantly. They're terrified of watering down their cocktail, so they shake timidly for 5 seconds and end up with something syrupy, harsh, and out of balance. Proper dilution, about 20 to 25% water by volume, opens up flavors, softens alcohol burn, and creates silky texture. Trust the process. That water is an ingredient just as much as the tequila. Strain through a hawthorn strainer into your glass. If you're feeling proper, double strain through a fine mesh strainer as well. This removes ice shards and any pulp, creating refined texture. If you're serving it up in a coupe, make sure the glass is properly chilled. If you're doing it on the rocks, use a large format cube, 2 inches ideally, because it melts slowly, keeping the drink cold without over-diluting. Garnish time. Lime wheel on the rim is classic. But here's where you can have some fun. Float fresh pomegranate arils on top. They look stunning against the red drink and the ice, and they reinforce that you've used real ingredients. 5 to 7 arils is plenty. More becomes fussy. If you want to get seasonal, add a rosemary sprig. All right, thank you for joining us for the West 6 podcast. Drink responsibly, and if you had a good time, press follow and rate our show 5 stars. This is Scotty signing off. May your troubles be lighter than your cocktails.
Grep News. Tamez.